Hello everyone, it's Jennifer here, and I am so excited to be coming to you today from Ireland. And I've never been here before. This is my first time, and this country is absolutely beautiful. While my visit here has been going on for a couple of days, I wanted to share some ideas, some thoughts that have opened up for me that may be helpful to you as well. And just a reminder that if you are not already signed up for my weekly email blog, to go ahead and do that, and feel free to share with your friends, because I'm always happy to have our community growing and have more and more people involved. So yesterday I went and visited an old castle. And for those of you who have been to Europe, really any place in Europe, it is amazing because, or not just Europe, but any other part of the world, it's amazing because these structures, these buildings are so old and they're so big and grandiose. It's incredible, the level of artistry and the stonework and the carvings and the marble. It's just actually mind-blowing to think that all of this was created hundreds and hundreds of years ago by hand, by artisans who just learned the craft. It's really mind-blowing. So as I was taking a tour of this castle, the tour guide was telling us the history. Pretty much, I think the first iteration of the castle was built somewhere in the early 1500s, or maybe it was the late 1400s. So there were multiple centuries of stories, and some of which the details aren't 100% known, but there were so many different families and stories of who married who and who betrayed who, and diseases and deaths and wars and cousins who married other cousins. And then at one point in time, there were two sisters who grew up and they couldn't get along. And so they actually raced horses from another property to this property, and whoever won got to keep the castle, because they just couldn't even get along with each other, to live even on opposite sides of this huge castle. And one, I don't even remember all the names and all the people, but there was one guy who lived there who they obviously had a lot of money, and he helped build a bridge. But then because of certain beliefs he had, he was hung from his own bridge and then beheaded, and his head was brought to town. And the stories went on, and you're just sitting there like, oh my gosh, like it's just is horrible. And then one of the participants in the tour asked, she said, I'm really surprised actually that this castle is even still here. Why wasn't it burnt down like most of them were? And so the tour guide started talking about the torchings and how pretty much the vast majority of any large home at some point was torched, because if you didn't believe in the proper beliefs religiously, politically, you weren't aligned with the right people, you got torched. And I was just sitting there like, wow, like it's really incredible. And of course, this is nothing new. I've studied history, I've traveled, I've heard these kinds of stories, but every time I hear them again, it really refreshes in my mind, like it's kind of crazy, like the way humans have always acted, with war and oppression and control and all of that. And what occurred to me is I really got present to modern day times, and there's this growing story, and maybe it's not growing. We've always had this story that this is the worst it's ever been. Things are worse now than ever. And I just wanted to share the idea of possibly that story is disempowering. That yes, things are bad now. We have war going on right now and people being killed, and we have oppression, and I don't need to go into all of that. There's no doubt. But with all of that, adding on to it a story that it's the worst it's ever been, which I hear a lot, I feel like it's a very disempowering context in which to be living. And what happens when we say that is we let go of hope. We destroy hope, because there's this victim feeling of everything's just getting worse. It's going to overcome me. There's nothing I can do about it. We're just doomed. And I just really got that things are not the worst they've ever been. Things are bad in a lot of ways, but they're not the worst they've ever been. In fact, I can be here on Facebook saying all of this without fear that somebody's going to come and chop my head off because I said the wrong thing. You know, we have access now to so much, and so many people are waking up. So many, yes, there's the people in power in so many places that are still corrupt and war and all of that. But on an individual level, people I know, people I live with and work with, you know, people in my neighborhood, people in my life, people in your life, people around, you know, when I'm just chatting with people, more and more people are waking up. We have access to self-development, transformation. We have so many spiritual teachings now that are not based in religion. And there's nothing wrong with religion, but there's other options. There's ways of connecting inside, connecting to our true inner selves of pure love and meditation and spirituality and self-development and, you know, just even on LinkedIn, you know, just cruising through LinkedIn periodically and all of the really empowering leadership concepts that people post, you know, and everybody likes, you know, every time there's anything that is about treating people better at work and about mental wellness and work-life balance, you know, it's got like thousands of likes and shares, and because that's what people want, that's what where people are moving. And so I just wanted to share this idea that if we can focus on us, like I focus on me, you focus on you, and being the best that we can, doing our own work, getting our own garbage out of our way so that we can shine our light, so that we can bring positive, high vibrational energy out into the world, then that will have a ripple effect. You know, when we say, oh, things are just the worst ever, like we're just going downhill, there's this down energy, there's this lack of hope, there's this we're doomed feeling, which is going to spiral in the wrong direction. One thing that I've heard a lot is this idea of technology, and that technology is just ruining everything. And in some ways, yeah, technology is not serving us, but I would offer that technology is not the problem. Technology is only at the effect of the user. And technology also brings people together. You know, allows people to chat more. It allows people to text and send video calls. I mean, my gosh, when I was little, it was only on the Jetsons. I was like, oh my gosh, a video call, wouldn't that be cool? Well, now we can do it. And it allows people to feel connected that never felt connected before. You know, I think that there's this idea, this expectation, that we should be further along, that we should be more enlightened, that societies out there in the world should be more evolved. And perhaps, I'm certainly not going to argue against that. And shoulding on you, me, anybody doesn't change anything. So my suggestion is for us to let go of this idea that things are the worst they've ever been. Appreciate where we've come. Appreciate the things that are no longer politically correct. Appreciate that while, yes, certain abuses obviously still happen, that fewer people are silent about it. You know, that more and more people are standing up, not just for themselves, but for other various groups of people around them. You know, and start to recognize our progress and continue to move in that direction by keeping positive, by keeping our energy up and spreading more love within ourselves and to just those immediately around us. That's what will keep us moving forward. That's what will have more people included. So I just wanted to share that, because as I stood there yesterday listening to these stories from centuries ago and thinking, and people think it's worse now, like it's not any better in a lot of places, but it's certainly not a whole lot worse. And I just feel that story really disempowers and really strips us of hope. And I personally, I like hope. I have hope. I see more and more people shining their light out there. And I just encourage you to continue to do that. I shall try to continue to do that as well, as best as I can. And that's it. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day. It's super early back there in the US, and I will see you all next week. So again, just a reminder to subscribe to my email blog, share it with your friends, share the Facebook page with your friends, invite people, and have a wonderful day. All right, take care. Bye.